Stressful. Can everyone hear? I can't hear any of you.
Hello.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay.
There. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
There was like 50 people at one time. Admit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear Amy. Hi, Amy.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Hi, Megan.
Hello.
How do you see different faces?
Hi, Dr. Stahl.
Ah.
Yes, I'm the newest FEA member. Did everybody get their hot chocolate for the meeting?
No.
I got an energy drink.
Oh, bummer.
We thought you were providing it for everyone.
Rachel.
I did.
Rachel, hi.
It's a virtual cup.
Colette's here too. Wow. We got a whole thing going on.
You want to say hi, Sophia? You want to say hi?
Hi, Sophia.
Marissa says hi.
Hi.
You shy.
I'm just gonna wait over here.
It's so good to see all of your faces.
I know.
You know what? I like these Zoom meetings because I get to see people's kids.
Yeah.
We had a meeting with Rachel and Naya.
Oh, yes.
But Marissa and Mackenzie have gotten quite used to them. But she's at my mom's house today because I needed a break.
Yeah. Totally
You know
understand.
what? There's a reason why some of us are not stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
I admire them greatly.
Yes. Yes. Speaking of moms, hi, Lauren. She just joined us and she had a baby in December.
Oh.
I know. I'm hoping that she'll bring him on the screen if she can hear us. Lauren, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hi.
Okay. Where's
Hi.
that sweet little baby?
So he's literally like freaking out right now. So I'm giving him a bottle, which I normally don't do, but I'm just gonna see if that works. But if he chills out, I will definitely bring him on the screen for you guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's just staring at me though.
Sweetie.
Yeah. Nice to see you though.
You too. And hi, Mackenzie. I see you too. And Regina and Kelsey and Amy and Jillian and everybody.
Rachel, we get it. You know everybody.
I'm just excited. I said I'm really happy to see everybody. I feel like I'm on like Survivor and I'm on the island by myself. You know what I mean?
Survivor.
I tell you.
Oh, you can put a background?
What?
Yes, you can put
I'm
a
going to
virtual background.
change mine. I'm gonna.
Ooh, that's fun.
Are you at Hogwarts, Nicoletta?
No, I'm at Eller's Castle in Romania.
How do you do that?
I don't know. I'm like, do people want to see the fridge in my kitchen?
If you want to do that by your video, the up arrow, if you click on it, it says choose virtual background.
Where it says stop video, there's a little arrow right next to it.
Oh.
You just have to upload a picture from your.
Mine also had a few default ones. So depends on, I don't know
There
what
you
it
go,
depends on,
Beth.
something.
She was out in space. Kim's back at the beach.
Sorry, I'm still admitting a bunch of people.
How are y'all hanging out, hanging on? How are y'all doing?
It's okay.
Kelsey is walking on campus.
Hi,
Walking.
Kelsey. I mean, I'm just hanging
Sorry,
out
I'm
with the dog.
Yeah, I'm walking my dog.
Hey. Okay.
I've been walking my grand dogs just to get outside.
Yeah.
Do something.
Oh, I see you, Sam.
Hi.
You're in.
Stopped. I don't know how to work this.
There you are,
No,
Sarah.
you're there. You're in. It's working.
It's stressing me out.
Sorry.
This is just good practice.
Yeah.
It looks like there's, if everybody has their chat, it looks like there's some questions on the side. If you click on chat at the bottom.
Yeah. I'll
Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
volunteer to meet the person the chat room. I would say man, but y'all know I'm too feminist to say that. So I'll woman chat.
I see a couple of people that this is the first meeting that they've attended, probably because that's cool. I mean, you may want to do some more of these even when we don't have to.
Just
Yeah,
like,
well, for those of you that don't already know this, all of the club meetings are already offered in Zoom format. So if you don't know, now you know. And if this is your first meeting, you can come to more in the future.
There you go.
I don't know if Christine is here yet.
No. You can search under the participants, Marissa. On the
Oh, there she is.
Click participants, you can search.
I just admitted her.
There's 54 participants. That's good.
Like,
You can also put it in gallery view if you've got it in speaker view and whoever's talking is like big on the screen and there's just a few people, but you can put it in gallery and get a few more.
oh, this is
Oh.
like a new learning.
You click the little grid up at the top right.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Angel.
Hi guys. Can anyone see me? Sorry, I'm like trying to like get this working. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we
you
can
are.
hear you, yeah.
Okay.
I keep on seeing Kelsey.
I know.
Just a couple of things that I've learned in these.
Wait, Pat, you froze.
We've been in a lot of Zoom and some of them, a lot of people in it like this one, and that if you mute yourself, there's not so much background noise, and then when you want to, you just unmute. And who you are, because it, you know, your particular face might be on like the next screen.
Yeah, also if you're on a phone, if you swipe all the way to the farthest left screen, if you have yourself muted, there's a button that'll show you that you can tap and hold it and just almost like a walkie-talkie, so that you stay muted except for when you want to say something. That's only if you're on a phone. I saw somebody was on their iPhone, so.
Yeah, I saw that too. Oh, I can see everybody. This is fun.
Shall we get this
I feel
party
like,
started?
yeah. So, okay, so for now, to get rid of the background noise, for the people who aren't panelists, can you mute yourself
Larissa, you can mute everyone as the
Oh, I
host.
could do that? Oh,
Yeah,
what?
so go to where do you go? Go to participants.
Mm-hmm.
And
Manage
then you
participant.
go to
Oh, mute all. Ha, got it.
Ooh, you can raise your hand.
Yeah, you can raise your hand. Okay, I got it. Okay, I muted you all. I'm so sorry. Okay, wait, the people, I'm gonna unmute Pat.
Sorry, I keep muting and unmuting. Can you hear me? I feel like I'm not doing this right.
Chris, yeah, Kristen, I can hear you.
Okay, but you can't see me, right?
Right.
Okay, why? I wonder why I can't do that.
Do you
Okay.
have your, Christina, do you have your like a protector over your camera?
I have no idea. I usually never like let anyone see me. So I always do that. Let me check.
Because you must have that because you're showing that your video is connected. I was talking to someone before and they had forgotten to slide the little.
Okay, where would I find that?
Well, that would be like if it's on your screen. So if you don't have it attached there, it's probably something else.
Okay, it's okay. As long as you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Did you maximize your screen, Christina? Because maybe it's on there, but you just can't see it.
Okay, I maximized it.
It should be on the bottom left corner. It says video next to mute.
Yeah, it says video, but it doesn't, it just says stop video.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to play with it. It's okay. You guys don't need to see me. Okay, I got it. Sorry, guys. I have my kids here, by the way. So I will mute myself when needed, but they're bugging. Hold on. Trying to figure it out. Okay, you guys can continue. Do you want me to stay unmuted right now?
Yeah, that's totally fine if you want.
Okay.
And then for anybody who has like questions, can you put it in the chat feature? We have a list of questions that people have sent in. So if you do have questions that come up, put it in the chat feature to the right. I'm hoping it's on everybody's right. And then towards the end, the panelists will answer those questions because they might answer them while they're going through the questions. Sound good? Everybody give a thumbs up. How do you give a thumbs up?
You put yes.
Oh, you put yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so Nicoletta, do you want to start with the first question?
Yeah, so the first question is about rescheduling the graduation reception, right? So the answer to that is right now we're trying to get an answer to the funding source that we had. So we're funding that through co-curricular funds, and I'm waiting on an answer on whether those funds can be still made available to us for a postponement. So we can do it if we can get that funding. And right now we're literally, I'm waiting for an answer. So I will send out an answer to that. I don't know that yet. The second question was about whether professors are going to be a little bit easier on students now that that we're going to this format. So the message that we've sent out is that, you know, nobody, the professors and the students did not start out as in a face-to-face class. I mean, in an online class, they started out as a face-to-face, right? So for these classes, so the professors are not expected to be professional online instructors, and the students are not expected to be professional online, expert online students. So we are sending the message that there should be, you know, flexible, still need to meet the course objectives, the student learning outcomes, but that it, you know, they're not going to necessarily be the same type of class as you would have had face to face. So now we can't control what each individual instructor is going to do. So I can't say be easier, but I think that professors are going to be a lot more understanding and as flexible as they can be. And just as we're having, some of you are on here for the first time in a Zoom meeting, for a lot of your professors, they're also just learning this for the first time. And so I think we all need to be patient with each other, and we realize that things happen. You know, we have kids, you have kids, you have other obligations. Things can, things are not the same as they were. So I'm confident the professors are going to do everything that they can to make this as smooth as we can for everyone. let's see. The third question was, will the CHABS academic honors ceremony still occur? So the celebration was canceled, and the dean said that the message went out about that, but not everyone might have received it. So the answer that I got from the dean's office is that they may reschedule this event close to the rescheduled commencement. If they don't, they will have a process for students to pick up the cords before their scheduled commencement ceremony. So they're not sure if they're going to reschedule it because it's a ton of work, depending on when the word comes out about commencement being rescheduled and whether there's going to be time to reschedule the award ceremony. But either way, you will be able to get those cords. For should we still buy our cap and gown? The university has said that they will reschedule commencement. They don't know right now when that might be, or if all students will still be able to attend at that new date. So caps and gowns will be made available before commencement, but we don't know when that is because it all depends on when commencement will be rescheduled. And you will receive updates about this once we have further information. So probably right now it might not be, you probably should hold off. That would be my suggestion, hold off until you hear, and they'll be made available then. About the diplomas, so basically commencement is just a ceremony. Nobody gets a diploma at commencement. So while there may be a little bit of delay because of everything being done remotely and virtually, still the registrar's office reviews everyone's record who apply for graduation, and they will issue the diplomas and you'll get those in the mail. So when you get the diploma is not necessarily connected to when commencement happens. Okay, so I hope that, I know those are kind of brief, but let me know if you have any additional, if I can clarify anything else on those initial questions.
Thank you. Okay, so now Pat, Christina, and Tiana.
All righty. So just to kind of give you a broad overview, the CSU education deans were in a 4-hour Zoom meeting last week with CTC. There's another meeting tomorrow, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate everybody is really looking for ways to be flexible and ways to make sure that everybody who's in a credential now is able to finish the credential, and those of you who are applying to the program are going to be able to apply. So just know that everybody's working on your behalf here. And things change daily, but all the news is good. All the news is good news. So the first question was about the exams, any of the exams like CSAT and CBEST and the LOTE 3. Right now the testing centers are closed, and the chancellor's office, which has a more, the CSUs have a more stringent admission requirement than does CTC. So keep that in mind. Some stuff is chancellor's office that they can change, and they have. Some stuff is CTC, which is determined by education code in the state of California. They can't change that. However, I think there's going to be a flurry of which make things even more open. So if we don't have answers today, I'm fairly certain they're all going to be positive. So as far as the testing goes, if you've applied to the program and you don't have all your tests done, that's fine. All you have to do is register for a test. You do have to submit evidence that you've registered for the test with your application. Okay. But for now, you know, you can't go take a test if the testing center is closed, right? So anyway, that should be good news. I mean, it's hard to take the test, harder, I would say, during the program, but it's not going to keep you out of, it's not going to keep you out right now. Okay, we all good on the tests? Okay. The COVID-19 pandemic, how is it going to affect the credential program if it continues to affect the school districts next year? I can't tell you that because my My crystal ball's a little bit foggy right now. It's not giving me clear future information. I can tell you what they're doing right now. We're gathering information from our school sites as we speak. But in the school sites that are still running and doing things online, our teacher candidates are right there, working with the cooperating teacher remotely, helping students online. And CTC is being very lenient in how we count clinical practice hours. So that's what's going on right now. If we're still faced with this next year, actually we'll probably have even better answers because we will have been through all this. So that one I can't answer specifically. I can just tell you that right now everybody, the school district, CTC, and certainly our university supervisors are all working to make this work. Okay. Number 3, will the prerequisite courses over summer for fall applicants be exempt of service learning? Yes. That was a directive from the chancellor's office. And as I said, the chancellor's office can change their directives. And they have removed that requirement for people who are applying to the fall 2020 start. Now, they haven't suspended that requirement necessarily if you're not going to do fall 2020. We don't have an answer on that. If you're taking the courses right now and you don't plan to be admitted fall 2020, you're probably going to be okay. You probably have at least half of it done, and we're just going to be flexible with that. And if you're taking it in the summer and applying in fall 2020, you don't have to worry about it. They're not going to have service learning, and you still will be admissible. Let's see, we covered CBEST and CSAT. Those of you who are in the liberal studies subject matter waiver, you can thank Kim and Nicoletta for making sure you don't have to take CSAT, because you get that taken care of. Let's see. And how are our lost hours if we currently enroll? Going to affect, I think we already answered that, right? The lost hours, are you talking about the field experiences?
I think so. I think they are the service learning hours that we have to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So no, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, can you speak, just while we're kind of on this topic, can you speak on the Cal TPAs for students that are currently in the program, or for the ICP students?
We don't have any ruling on that. That is a CTC requirement, and it's an education code. So that's one of those things that's going to have to take an executive order. I've personally sent messages to CTC because they've asked for suggestions. My suggestion is that they just suspend it for this group, kind of like they have the field placement hours. But CTC, and I think a lot of us would agree with that. However, we can't do that. We can't make that determination because it's an education code. So it's going to take an executive order from the governor. And so everybody, once again, is very supportive of those who are in credential programs and taking the TPA, even if that executive order doesn't come through to suspend it. CTC has given us an option they have that they never hardly use, but it's an option to give you a, let me see if I can find it in my notes what it's called. It is a credential that allows you to apply for and get a job and then finish the TPA in the fall while you're teaching. So regardless of what happens with the governor and whether or not it's suspended, CTC has given us a path to go ahead and offer you a credential so that you can apply for and start working. That was all the questions on the list I have. Were there any other questions?
Do you want to answer the ones that are at the very bottom?
Is that, I didn't see that page. Okay, got it. Got it. That went to another page.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's see. With campus closures, how will this affect students who needed to send an official transcript over to the institution for completion of their application?
Oh, that one is for Christina and Tiana.
Yeah.
Were you referring to, if you go past the Christina Tiana area, Pat, there's another Pat.
Oh yeah, there's another Pat.
Oh my goodness, I saw that first page and I just stopped. Okay. I'm a junior taking Education 364 and 350. That's about this pre-service. I have an understanding that if we do not, we will receive, no, let's see, I'm a junior. I have to complete service learning and fieldwork hours for my prereqs. I have an understanding that if we don't meet all the hours, we'll receive an incomplete. If you're not being admitted to fall 2020, you may still have to complete those hours. Although, and this is not official, but the all of the CSU education deans, when we met, suggested that for anybody taking those courses right now, the field experience component be suspended. So right now I'm going to say don't worry about it, and I don't think we'll go the incomplete route, and but that's another one it's a little clearer than it's not as foggy crystal ball, but I think you're going to be fine. Let's see, a delay in the issuance of degrees or the CSET waiver. You know what? All of us are still working, and we can do a lot of that stuff remotely. So I don't know, Tiana and Christina, I don't think there's going to be a delay. Do you?
I haven't heard of anything, but I highly doubt there would be a delay in that.
Yeah.
I think Colette is on here as well, the local studies advisor. Colette, is that something that you can answer as far as degrees go?
Hey, yes. As far as I know, we're all working. Registration records is working. The advising offices are all open. There shouldn't be any delays in that because, yeah, as far as I know, there shouldn't.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm done.
Okay, I was going to say with the waiver, Carrie Dial and Andy, we're going to be signing those electronically. So we're still doing the waivers. We're still, Carrie's still going to do the, she's been doing the on track progress email that some of you probably have gotten. And then when the final degree or the final grades are submitted, she'll do the final check and we'll still issue the waiver letters.
Okay, here's one. It sounds like from a current teacher candidate. The school district I'm student teaching in will be closed until April 14th. These questions probably came a few days ago. I think pretty much everybody's going to be closed for the rest of the year. And as I think I kind of mentioned this earlier, we're gathering information now. Some schools have already gone to online, and I've heard from some of our teacher candidates that they're involved and continue to be involved just as the teacher is, and all that counts for. Some schools close spring break and have even suggested they're going to take 2 weeks to be closed for spring break, and that part of that is so that the teachers can get kind of ramped up and for delivering online instruction and communicating with the students remotely, you know, kind of like what we're doing. And in that case, the teacher candidates, we expect to still be involved with their cooperating teacher and with their class. We're still gathering information in on that, but the school districts are very cognizant of your need as a teacher candidate to be able to complete those clinical hours, and I think they're going to be very supportive of that. Not to mention, if you're doing things remotely and online for the first time ever, who wouldn't want an extra person, a teacher candidate, to help you out? So I think that will be fine. Let's see if, and school's probably going to be closed longer. But I think I've already addressed number 4. To fulfill clinical practice 2 and receive the credential.
We don't have a copy, Pat, of the questions.
Okay.
If you reference a question, can you
Got
just
it.
kind of state what it was again?
If the school were to stay closed longer, and they will, I can tell you that right now, what will we need to do to fulfill the clinical practice 2 and receive our credentials? So I think you just go on working with your cooperating teacher, and we've been in touch with university supervisors, and they'll be supporting you and documenting successful completion of the TPEs. And CTC, as I mentioned, has found, if we need to, an alternative way to credential so that you can finish the TPA next fall while you're teaching in your own classroom. Okay, so if the schools where student teaching at decide to start online, and I think they are, will we be able to participate in this process? So far, the ones I've heard are doing that. And I think that probably the rest of them will be certainly open to you participating with them as well. And is there going to be summer school because I need to take EDU C422? Yes, it'll all be online, and just like we're doing right now, and the field experience component will be waived. Okay, that's the end.
Okay. Then do we want to move on to Christine and Tiana's portion about credential applications?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, so with campus closures, the question is, with campus closures, how will this affect those students who needed to send an official transcript over to the institution for completion of their application? So most staff is still working at most colleges, so I don't know their processes at other colleges on their back end and how they would send it over, but I would assume that they would still be doing that. I do know of some people, like at Palomar, for instance, in admissions, some of them are actually still in the office. So some places are still, we're still making sure that students' needs are being fulfilled. So I don't feel that worrying too much about transcripts, it needs to be a worry. I believe you'll still be able to get it to us, and don't worry, they don't have to be to us by interview time, anything like that. We still have some time in the next couple of months to get those over to us. Okay. Do you want to add anything to that, Christina?
No, I think you hit it right there. I mean, we're all working still, so there shouldn't be anything stopping your transfer from coming over. If anything, just because we're all getting used to working remotely, it might be a little bit slower for us to get like used to it. I don't know if Tiana said that or not, but I don't really think I have anything to add. I think you answered it. I can answer the second one though, unless you guys have questions about that first one. Or are we taking questions right now? Anyone know?
I think we'll go through each of these like straightforward, and maybe at the end we can answer. Like,
okay.
I'm not sure. Is that how you wanted it, Marissa?
Yeah, I would say let's go ahead and just go through the questions that you have on your list. I'm trying to keep track of any other questions that come in through the chat. Ask all of them at the end if they haven't already been answered during the questions that you already have.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so number 2, how will the credential program interviews be conducted? So those will all be done via Zoom, at least for the middle level and single subject ones. I'm guessing middle or multiple subject are doing Zoom as well.
Yes.
I don't know if there was like another process they were doing, but yeah, so you should have received, if you were applying for middle level, then you should have received an email from me. I think it was on Tuesday or yesterday. And I sent another one today to follow up, explaining exactly how the interview will be conducted for middle level. It's going to be the same thing for single subject. I just haven't sent that out yet because I haven't gotten all the applications in yet, but everything will be done via Zoom. And you will choose your interview time. I'll send you the links to everything. And it'll be just like this. Group interviews too. I guess that's number 3. So yeah, they'll still be group interviews for middle level and single subject.
As for multiple subjects, basically exactly what Christina said. They will be Zoom interviews, and I sent out an email, I believe it was yesterday, for everyone in multiple subject that applied for that one, and just kind of like a heads up email. And I'm going to be sending the doodle for you to select your date and time either by the end of today, because I have another meeting with multiple subject faculty, if not by early tomorrow morning, so that way you can select your day and time. And interviews will be held next week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and they're between the hours of 8:15 and I believe 3:30 is the last one. And they will be group interviews. There will be 3 to 4 of you interviewing. I believe they're might be keeping it to 3 interviewees and then 2 interviewers, all via Zoom. And then you'll have a writing prompt to complete at the end of the interview, which I'll be emailing to you as well. And then you'll have 45 minutes to complete that writing prompt and email it back. And I'll have all the email information, everything emailed to you as well. So I'll try to make it as clear for you as possible. And
really quick, I want to add something really fast, because the multiple subject interviews are also on the 25th and the middle level interviews on the 25th. Be aware of your timing and when you schedule your multiple subject interview and your middle level interview. Middle level interviews are going to be from 9:30 to 3:30. You can choose a slot, and with the link that I sent you, you'll see that. Some people have not responded yet, and I would, like I said, I sent another email out today on it. I don't know. I mean, there's a decent amount of middle level students applying that are also doing the multiple subjects. So yeah, just make sure you check your emails, click on the link, and schedule your time, and don't let it conflict with the multiple subject interview time that you choose.
And Tiana and Christina, those of you who are applying to the concurrent program, that application window hasn't quite closed yet, but it'll be a similar process.
Exactly, yeah. But that's not until May.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next question is, how should we prepare for the interviews? As far as preparing, just make sure to still look and dress professional, at least from the top up, right? Especially on Zoom. And still just, it's basically a very professional demeanor, and they'll just be asking you, at least for multiple subject, 3 to 4 questions. And since it's a group interview, like each person will kind of round robin on like who will be first. You know, they'll have you guys take turns on who will answering the questions first, so it's a fair way to answer. But just have your smile on, and you know, your friendly faces, and be professional. And that's the main thing. You don't have to like, you know, send in anything to us day of. Do you have anything to add to that, Christina?
I do actually. So Erica Daniels, the middle level coordinator, I sent it all to the middle level students as well. It was a admission form that you need to send back to me. Those questions on the bottom are your interview questions. So go ahead and look over them, and you know, study them. You're not supposed to fill them out or anything. You're just supposed to fill out the top portion of the admission form for on that form, but those questions on the bottom are your questions for the interview. Weird, but what it is. So yeah, so I guess you can get an idea of, you know, what they're going to ask you.
To relay off of that, I don't believe we're going to be sending them out for multiple subjects like middle level is doing. I believe they want to ask you like in the moment type of questions. I know that I will be sending you, once you fill out your doodle, when I send it out either later this afternoon or early tomorrow morning, once we have your interview dates and times that you've selected, then next week I will be sending out emails to all of you before your interview day to it will have like an overview of your credential evaluation, so that way you know what I have on file for you, and if there's any discrepancies, just let me know. But all of your interview information will be in there. I'll have to double check with the coordinator to see if we're including interview questions. I don't believe we are, so just a heads up with that. Sorry. Okay, number 5, how can applicants who have children best prepare for the Zoom interview, considering that the children are home and may disrupt despite best efforts? Christina might want to talk on this. I have a little one at home.
Yes. I know I've got 2 toddlers at home right now. I'm trying to work. So, I mean, if you've got a partner or someone at home that can help you, watch the kids, and you can go to like a quiet place and just not be interrupted, that would probably be your best bet. Or if you can have someone watch your kids for someone, you know, that's not sick. Obviously, watch your kids for like a couple hours while you get the interview done, then I would do that. I wouldn't leave children. I mean, it depends on their age, obviously, but wouldn't leave like your kids, you know, free like I am right now while you're trying to be in a professional interview. So yeah, definitely try to get that alone time and see if someone can help you out with watching them while you do it.
And you know what, everybody's going to be very understanding of the circumstances. I would want maybe make sure you have your alone time just so you can think. But listen, people are going to be very understanding. So
yeah,
don't put your kids like in the closet and
don't exactly. Don't put your kids in the closet or the bathtub or anything like that. Everybody's super understanding of the situation. We're all in it together, so we get it, and things happen, and it's fine. Like if one of your kids sneaks out and jumps on your lap, no one's going to say you're not going to be in you know, the program. So you know, just like Pat said, everyone's very understanding of the situation.
Yeah, or you can try to schedule around a nap time. My daughter's in a nap, but I also have my spouse here with me too. So if she wakes up, then he can grab her. But like they said, it's totally okay if something happens and they come into it. Don't worry. Don't be too stressed.
Yeah.
Want to go number 6, Christina?
Okay, yeah. For the multiple subject credential interviews are the only group. Oh, sorry, that'd be you.
That's me. Never mind. For the multiple subject credential interviews, are they only group interviews, or are there also one-on-one interviews? They are all group interviews.
Okay. Let's see. I can do number 7. What questions will be asked in the credential interview, and what is the expected format and length of the essay portion? Okay. Well, I guess for the middle level, I already told you that the interview questions are on that admission sheet that I sent you. So, and then I also sent you the interview, like the schedule and the agenda for how the interview will be conducted and what to expect. So the prompt, the writing prompt, just like Tiana's, will be sent to you after your interview. You'll have about 45 minutes to complete it, and then you'll send it back to me. And I mean, they expect it to be a draft. It is, you know, you're not going to have that question before, you know, before we send it to you. So, you know, don't worry too much about it, and just do your best. Probably like one page would be just fine.
Yes, and I did answer this a little earlier as well. Plus thing for you guys is usually it's a written out one. So your grammar is going to be on the computer. So that's a plus for you, because then you have, you know, spelling and grammar check.
Positivity. Yeah. For sure.
Okay, I want to do 8, Christina.
Yeah. Will the concurrent program application deadline remain the same, and when will the interviews be? As of now, yes, the deadline for it is still the same. Obviously, things can change every day, and we just don't know where we're at with everything. So, but as of today, it's still going to be the May 11th. What is it? May 9th?
I think it's May 8th.
May 8th, excuse me, May 8th. May 8th deadline. So the application is still open. You can, you know, send it in online through Cal State Apply. And right now the dates will be, sorry, I have to check them again, but I believe they were the 20th, May 20th. I mean, I'm going to guess that they're probably going to be Zoom ones as well, just because of where we're at this point. And then you'll get more information from me on that. I'm going to have to speak with the coordinator to figure out exactly how we'll do that, but it'll be similar to, you know, what we're saying about the middle level and multiple subject, Zoom interviews, writing prompts, and all that. So I think May 20th was the date, and then May 22nd. I'll have to verify that, and I can let you guys know, whoever is applying for concurrent, the exact interview dates, and if it's going to change because they're going to be Zoom. Okay.
Okay. And it says number 9, how many applicants will be in each Zoom meeting for credential program interviews? As mentioned earlier, for multiple subject, it's the general would be 3 interviewees along with 2 interviewers.
Okay.
What about you?
Let's see. Number 10.
At the middle level, Christina.
Okay, yeah. So there will be 4 to 5 interviewers for middle level. And then I believe 3 interviewers for single subject. So I don't know for concurrent yet exactly how that will work. Usually they have a group interview. This is my first year doing the concurrent. So Tiana, usually when they do the group interview, it's a panel interview as well, correct?
It is. They generally try to have 4 to 5 for concurrent.
Okay, so yeah, I expect that then. Yeah, and then you'll have, so probably about 2 to 3 interviewers. So they're panel interviews with groups of about, 3 to 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 10, is there anything I should have handy while conducting the interview?
Pen and piece of paper, maybe, to write down any notes or something.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
But nothing really essential that's required or requested. But pen and paper is good.
I would have the sheet for the middle level ones because I sent you that application. What are you calling the application one? Sorry, you guys, my kids are calling people on my phone. I would have the sheet that I sent you for middle level students that has the interview questions there, just so you could, reference it, or just have it on your computer and just do like a dual screen or 2 screens by minimizing. So
I'll do the next question if you want to grab your phone.
yes, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Number 11, will there be a writing portion of the interview due by email perhaps? Yes, which we both did mention at the end of each of your interviews. We will be sending you an email with your writing portion, and then you'll have an allotted time, which it sounds like 45 minutes is the allotted time. And we'll have all of the instructions like nice and clearly, like, so you guys don't have to remember this, come next week, or, whenever your interviews are, we'll have it like nicely laid out for you. So you'll get this in written out in the email for you as well. Okay. Number 12, if we apply for 2 credential programs, for example, middle level, multiple subject, and only received an email for one of them, does that mean our name isn't down for applying to the other credential program? So yes, that actually happened with Marissa accidentally. Yeah, so if you, for instance, we've only sent out information for multiple subject and middle level, and I'm assuming that's probably your question, Marissa.
Yes.
Which is totally fine, because then there might be other people that have the same question. If you have not received an email from both middle level and multiple subject by now, please let either Christina or myself know, because little things like this happen that sometimes like a name can slip through the crack. We have a screen available for one program and we didn't create another screen for the second program. So definitely feel free to connect with us, reach out to us to make sure that we do have you down for both programs if you haven't received it for those 2. Now, again, concurrent hasn't been sent anything yet because their applications are still open and until May 8th. And Christina is still working on single subject as well, as far as entering in all of the applications into the system. So there hasn't been an email been sent out to single subject yet either, but we have sent out stuff for multiple subject. I put a heads up email out yesterday that says I'll be sending out the doodle invite either later this afternoon or by tomorrow morning. And Christina sent hers out yesterday for middle level with the hers, I don't think hers is doodle, it's something else, right, Christina?
Yes, I sent it. It's called Seat Genius. So that was my first time using it. It seemed, pretty good. So Seat Genius, or Sign Up Genius, excuse me. Sign Up Genius. So if you guys have any trouble with that, just let me know. But I think it seemed pretty user-friendly to me. But,
Do you want to do 13?
Yep. So what happens if we have technical errors or loss of connection during the interview? when the interview's over. Just kidding. I would just connect with me, letting me know, hey, this happened, or the coordinators, letting them know. I mean, again, this is totally new to everybody, and we're getting used to this, and there's probably going to be an error or a loss of connection, or internet may not work, and we can definitely work with you with setting up like a later time to be able to do your interview if it just wasn't able to happen on that day. Again, everyone's being really flexible and lenient about this, so if things happen, don't stress out too much about it. We will fix it. We'll make it work, and you're not going to lose your spot in the program. So don't stress out about that. If that does happen, just let me or Erica Daniels, the credential, the program coordinator, know about it for middle level.
I would like to,
subject.
yeah, I would like to add as well that don't forget, if you get kicked out for some kind of technical issue, go back into your email and just click on that link again for the Zoom meeting that you're in, and you should be able to access it, in the middle of these. Like, say if you got kicked out of this one right now, if you went back to the link and clicked on it, you should be able to get back in. And if you can't, it can be stressful, but please don't worry. We'll be able to add you to, like Christina said, a later time. So we'll make sure that it will work for you, for all of us.
Yeah. That's the end of it.
Okay. Rachel, do you want to list off the questions that people have been asking in the chat?
Yeah. If we could just circle back to some of the current credential student questions, so because they've kind of been hanging out and listening to some so relevant answers. So a lot of the questions from the ICP students and current credential students are asking about if they work in a school that either isn't planning on doing online instruction, or they haven't heard back from their cooperating teachers on what the plan is, what should they be doing right now?
I just want to make sure I was unmuted. They should be in touch with their university supervisor. Their university supervisor might have already been in touch with them. As I said earlier, we're gathering information about what's going on at schools and what our candidates can and can't do. And we're meeting on that next week. So if there are any gaps, then we'll figure out how to fill those gaps. So right now, I would say just be in touch with your university supervisor and stay tuned. Everybody, I really can't emphasize how impressed I've been with the way CTC, school districts have really rallied around to try to make this work for everybody. And there's still some glitches. We still don't know all the answers, but rest assured, people are figuring stuff out.
Okay. And so if they are certain that their teacher is not going to be teaching online, do we have any answers as far as are they at risk of not getting credentialed? Are they possibly going to be placed with another teacher who is doing online instruction? Any answers for those people?
They're not at risk of not getting a credential. Because if we do have to move them to another placement, that is one of our options.
Okay.
But I think in some districts right now, I don't think teachers know. So what answer they have now, I have learned, can change tomorrow. And I think that's what they're learning too. So yeah, we're gathering information, and university supervisors are in touch with their teacher candidate, and we'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
Okay. Are there any sort of separate interviews for the bilingual program?
I don't think so. Tiana and Christine, I don't think.
Tiana, you're muted.
Sorry, I just saw that. Thank you.
I don't think there are.
There are not separate interviews for bilingual candidates.
Do bilingual candidates need to be prepared to answer any questions in Spanish?
No.
No.
You do want to be sure, though, you let your interviewers and the program coordinator and Tiana and Christina know that you plan to be a bilingual candidate, because we do need to keep track of that.
For
So
sure.
we know if we need one class or two classes, sections. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to
Let us know.
clarify with that, if you marked it in your application, then we marked it in your file. Because I wouldn't want to end this Zoom and then get 50 emails letting us know that you're in there. Like if you marked it in your application, you can even double check in your application to make sure that you marked BLA authorization before emailing us. That would be great. And if you forgot to, then definitely email us, please.
Yeah.
So I think those were the only other questions. I just want to really quickly address a couple of things. First, you shouldn't need to create a Doodle account in order to schedule your time. That somebody asked that question in the chat, but just to let everybody know, you should just be able to select your time once Tiana or Christina, I think Christina said she's using a different platform, but you shouldn't create a Doodle account. Also, if anybody had technical issues with this meeting, Marissa is going to send out the recording of this whole thing so you can watch it back and skip over parts or find specific answers.
Rachel, I see one question in there about the Temecula.
Tiana, have you heard anything?
So Tiana and we've been in communication about that. Basically, she's counting up the numbers of addresses up there, and she really didn't have access to those until the window closed for applications. So that's still a possibility. We're just looking at the numbers, and then I preemptively contacted the school district, the Temecula School District, to ask about the possibility, if we did have a cohort up there, if they could give us some space so we didn't have to like meet in a parking lot or something somewhere. And they're very receptive. So, so preemptively, I've got things set up, but we just have to count. And maybe we can do that sooner rather than later, but we'll let you know as soon as we have a safe number pinned down.
And then I think there was one, hold on, I'm trying to scroll. Where'd it go? Oh, around when will applicants know if they got into the program or not?
For us, about 2 weeks for middle level and single subject.
So 2 weeks from the interview?
From the interview. On the email I sent for middle level, it says April 15th is when you'll know. You should find out by April 15th for middle level, and then for single subject, it should be about 2 weeks after their interview. So I would say May 1st for single subject.
For multiple subject, we're looking at April 17th.
I'm just double checking.
And you will receive an email from me directly for multiple subject with the admissions decisions that's been made on April 17th.
Either way,
Friday.
Will students find out one way or the other?
Yes.
Same for middle level and single subject?
Yeah.
And by the way, since we're talking about that, most people, almost everybody will get what we call a conditional admissions. And we usually just do conditional admissions because there's a lot of, several of you who are still taking the prerequisite courses and we don't have grades in. Or maybe you haven't gotten your TB clearance or your certificate of clearance from the commission. So when you get that conditional admission, don't freak out and think, oh my gosh, they're going to change their mind. It's really just about making sure that we have some of those maybe last minute things out there that you still have to complete and turn in. Does that make sense? Tiana and Christina, is that kind of generally what we do?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think even most likely this year, especially because of the testing centers being closed, we'll have probably a lot more conditional admits due to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I say, don't freak out and say, oh my gosh, they're going to change their minds, because it's really not about that.
There's a question coming in. Hold on. Also, Nicoletta, I like your sweater. Yay!
Yeah, if anybody has any last minute questions, if you want to either type it or feel free to just unmute yourself.
I'm gonna unmute myself because it's too long to type. So one of my classmates reached out to me on Messenger, and she asked me if I had received my diploma yet, and I told her no, and she told me that mine was stuck to the back of hers. So I never received mine in the mail, and it was, stuck to the back of hers. And I don't know what to do about it. I can't meet her anywhere because she doesn't live relatively close to me. And now that schools are closed, I can't just I can't reach her anywhere. So, and I'm assuming from the way she said it was like stuck to the back of hers, possibly both of ours are ruined. So I don't know if there's a way to get a new one printed, or who should I contact about that?
I think the best thing to do is to contact the registrar's office.
Okay.
Registration and records, and like I said earlier, they're still working. You could probably call them or email them, and they'll definitely help you with that, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas.
I know, that's pretty crazy, actually.
I know, and I was telling her, like, what a small world that she happened to know me. Like, what if a random person would have gotten my diploma? I mean, it has my name on it, so they can't use it, but like,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's really crazy. But yeah, registrar is the place to go.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to put their email address in the chat, Regina.
Okay, thank you.
What was the question about the Health 100? Who asked that question?
It was if it's not offered online because it's a prereq. Basically, what should people do? Prereqs aren't available over the summer before starting the credential programs.
The health class is officially a requisite. Isn't that correct, Tiana and Christina? Yeah, we advise that you get it ahead of time, but it is officially a requisite. Then sometimes people take it, but Palomar offers that, and they may be putting it online if it's not already.
I think Maricosta or Mesa have it online as well. Like currently, they've had it online for several years.
Okay.
What's the difference between a co-requisite and a prerequisite?
A prerequisite means you have to have it done like before the program starts. A co-requisite, you can do that during the program. My best advice is to get everything done ahead of time, because I can't tell you, every year there will be somebody who at the end of the year gets a 5th email from Christina that says you don't have your CPR. And then they're like, oh my gosh, and I can't get my credential now. And yeah, so our best advice is to get that stuff done. But I actually, can't you take CPR like online? I don't know how you do that, but I think there's online CPR classes.
Yes, you can.
CPR.
ABC CPR, yeah. And definitely get that health course out of the way. There's students that cannot be credentialed. Like, I mean, CPR is easy to probably fix. Like, you could take that in a day, but your health course, that sometimes can be a semester or a few weeks, and you don't want to wait a few weeks, especially if you have a job on the line. So get it done ASAP. Don't wait until the end of your credential program to get your health course done, and then not, miss out on a job opportunity because of something small like that. Sorry, going on mute.
I do want to add for the CORECs, another one is the U.S. Constitution requirement, and you can take an exam for that, and that is, you can go to usconstitutionexam.com. That's an option. Health, unfortunately, there's no exam for the health option. You do have to take an actual class, but it can be an online class. I did see another question that said, when do you think the testing centers will be open again? I did see a message on the testing center's website that said They're looking at mid-April, but that could change. So we don't know. As of right now, it's mid-April. So if you wanted to register for your test now, so that way you can show proof of your test date, feel free to do so, but we do not know, like, you know, things are changing every day. So it could be changed to a later date as well.
And just to reiterate what the CTC requirement is, you do, if you haven't been able to take the test, you do have to submit proof that you've registered. So don't wait for them to open to register.
Okay. Are there any other last minute questions?
Sorry, I have one more thing.
I
to
have.
say.
Oh,
Sorry.
Everybody.
Just one more thing with the, what I've noticed with some of the, because you don't have a spot on the multiple subject application, like to put a single subject in. So if you have not, if you're middle level and multiple subject and you applied through the multiple subject application, can you guys let me know, I guess, or actually, you know what? Sorry, I take that back. It should be on the admission sheet that I sent you. It'll ask what that single subject that you're going to be completing is. So make sure you fill out, put a subject in there. So we know, because that is what your single subject CSAT has to be taken in. Sorry, did that make sense? What I just said? Okay, good.
okay. I have a question.
Yes.
And maybe you guys already answered it because I joined in like 15 minutes later. So I still need to take my CBEST and CSAT. I've been calling the testing center where I'm going to take my CBEST to see if they're going to cancel anything. And they just don't pick up the phone, or I've emailed them and they haven't emailed me back.
Abby, can you go help Isla?
The testing centers are closed. For now, the chancellor's office has allowed us to consider you for admissions without those tests. However, you do have to register for them and submit proof of registration.
Okay, so when submitted my application, do I just take a picture of the receipts that they sent me, like when I pay?
With the test dates, they'll send you like a confirmation email with the test dates. That's what we would need, please.
Yeah, because for the CBEST, I paid for, I got the confirmation email for the CBEST, and I just did the CSAT, and I have not gotten a confirmation page, but I checked my bank account, and it does show that they took out the money.
Okay. Yeah, we would need, there should be something, like maybe if you go onto the website and go under your registration, like when you sign in, it might have like the dates that you're scheduled for.
Okay.
Sorry, really quick, I want to add to that. I may have missed this, but usually what will happen when you schedule your test is you make the payment first and then you have to schedule it afterward. You'll get a second email. Did you receive the second email to schedule?
Yeah, I did.
And you did schedule a date?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I scheduled it like a week after my CBEST, a week or two, and I didn't get a confirmation page, but like the money was taken out of my account.
Okay.
I do.
I've been trying to reach them.
That says that you can log into your account and find the test dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do they just send that confirmation to you, Tiana and Christina?
Yes.
Directly?
Yes. Email it to us.
Could you two type your email addresses just into the group chat so everybody has it handy?
Yeah.
And I can add them to their emails in the follow-up email that I'll be sending out later.
I do want to clarify as well, which someone did mention in this chat, that yes, if you are a CSU graduate, you have fulfilled the U.S. Constitution requirement at some point, like with a political science or history class. So don't worry about taking like an exam or anything like that. If you're a graduate from CSUSM or a CSU, then you have fulfilled the requirement.
And then there was a question about how is the credential program set up? Are we in a classroom all morning? And then after, are we at CSUSM? I'm a little confused with the setup.
For multiple subjects, each program is a little bit different. Multiple subject, we have, this year we're going to be doing a pilot group, which is still in the works. But our normal setup is for the first half of each semester. So for the first 8 weeks of fall and the first 8 weeks of spring, you'll be doing classes from about 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 days a week. And then on that Thursday is 1 day of clinical practice. That's for the first 8 weeks of fall and the first 8 weeks of spring. Then for the second half of each semester, you would be doing clinical practice Monday through Friday from whatever school hours that your cooperating teacher will be in class. So it's usually like 7:30 or 8 in the morning to about 3:30 in the afternoon. So that's for multiple
Where are those
subjects.
classes held?
There are different cohorts for each area. So this year we had Fallbrook, San Marcos Elementary, one in Valley Center, and there was 2 in San Marcos actually. Forget the name of the other one right now. But the coordinator will place you in terms of your address. So she will try to place you as close to the area as possible. So that's how it's shuffled around for multiple subjects.
So just to clarify, for multiple subject students, you don't take classes at Cal State San Marcos. You take your classes at an elementary school.
Yes, thank you.
Same thing for middle level.
Yeah, so the setup for middle level is the same. It's just your school is going to be Woodland Park Middle School in San Marcos. It's like 5 minutes from Cal State. So you won't take any classes at Cal State, and the setup is exactly what Tiana said for the multiple subject. So yeah, that's that, but you'll be at Woodland Park Middle School in a middle school classroom doing your observations and then your student teaching. For single subject, it is different. I'm not sure how many, there's like just only a few single subject applicants probably part of this group, but I'll say it anyway. So your classes will be on Mondays from probably about 8 to 3 or so. Every Monday you'll take all of your classes, and then Tuesday through Friday, your student teaching. So you're on a teacher's schedule the entire time. And that's for the entire 16-week semester. So it's not split up at all. And then same thing for the spring semester. Mondays you'll be taking your classes, and then Tuesday through Friday you'll be student teaching, and then Wednesday nights you'll also have your methods course that you would take.
Those methods courses are Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Are they? Okay, sorry. I thought they were still Wednesday.
That's okay. You know what? Your program coordinators will go over all of these logistics.
Yeah. They will. You'll get a lot of information. You guys are going to have 2 orientations for the middle level and the single subject. So you'll get a lot more information on exactly how the setup is going to be, when the classes will be, the timing of the classes, and what to expect more with your orientations. And those orientations will be in June and August for middle level and single subject.
I do need to attend a 1 o'clock Zoom meeting with another group. So unfortunately I do have to disconnect right now, but if there's any additional questions, Marissa and Rachel, please let me know and I can definitely help answer some more questions.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Or thank you, Tiana.
No problem. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Can I ask about one more of the co-requisites? Is the health class also good to go if you're a Cal State San Marcos graduate?
Not necessarily.
Okay. So it's not like the US Constitution?
No.
I had a question. I don't know if maybe Pat can answer this, but I know Tiana said that we're being placed near our addresses. If I put down my parents' address as my permanent address, does that mean I'll be placed in Temecula, or do we get to choose?
That's a good question, because we haven't had a cohort in Temecula in a long time. We'll probably be going off of the addresses. So if there's something different, for example, almost all of the bilinguals are at a dual language school, regardless of where you live. But if you, and I think every once in a while somebody says, well, I know this is my address now, but I'm moving. Mm-hmm. So my address might be different. Be sure and let your program coordinator know that. so that when they start organizing as best they can, you know, they try to help you out there.
Okay, Rachel, do you want to up on the questions that are being thrown into the group chat?
Yeah, Christina, the concurrent program is currently at Vista Academy of Visual and Performing Arts. Will that be the same for fall?
That should be the same as of now. Yeah, I haven't heard anything different.
Right. I think their contract is still good for next year.
Okay. Is it going to be an impediment if somebody does not have a driver's license to participate in the credential program?
I would say, yeah, it would. I mean, because you're going to need to get to your school site every day. I mean, you are technically on, well, with single subject, you're on a teacher's schedule, even with the middle level and multiple subject. I mean, you have to be, you know, at a school site every day. So yeah, I think that it would definitely, you would need a driver's license or someone that, a reliable driver, at least every day to come pick you up and take you to school. But I would say get your driver's license if you can ASAP.
Okay. Is Fallbrook the closest cohort to Riverside County right now?
They do a, like, so this for the school sites, like where they're going to be placed.
Yes.
So for the multiple subject, I don't know, I'm not sure, but with middle level, with middle level, and I don't believe middle level does Temecula, but single subject does. So single subject will do a school in Riverside County.
For the clinical practice part, not for the courses, but yes,
yeah.
for clinical practice, yes.
Okay.
And the same goes for multiple subject. Even if they don't end up with a cohort on site in Temecula, the clinical practice, they try to get you a placement in Temecula.
So just for everybody, just to differentiate, because I know some of you aren't 100% familiar with that language, your clinical practice is your student teaching. So when you're doing your full-time student teaching, that second 8 weeks, even if your like your observations that are that Thursday during your school schedule, even if that cohort, the first 8 weeks isn't in Temecula, the second 8 weeks, they will try and make sure that your 8 weeks of student teaching is in Temecula. So worst case scenario, it would be the first 8 weeks that you would have to be coming down to Fallbrook or San Marcos or Escondido. And then the second 8 weeks, you would be doing your student teaching up here.
Sorry if I missed something.
That's okay, we missed you. I signed up for the Spanish CSET, but I haven't picked a date to take it yet because all of the sites are currently closed. With the interviews being next week, should this person pick a CSET date now?
I would pick one now, but I mean, they don't necessarily have to have the CSET subtest 3 completed at this point. I mean, that honestly doesn't even need to be done until, like, I would say get it done by the end of your first semester.
But do you have to pick a date to get your registration confirmed?
We don't need to have registration for our applications. We don't have to have registration confirmation for the
just for the CSET LOTE 3.
Yeah, just for that.
Just for the bilingual authorization, everybody.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, we're not talking about any of the other CSETs right now.
Right.
Only for that Spanish CSET 3 for people who are doing the bilingual authorization.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So that does not have to be done right now for your applications. We don't need the registration for that. That is not a requirement for the CSET LOTE 3 for the bilingual authorization. So my recommendation is at least have that done, within your first semester.
I'm going to save Antonia's question for just the last because she's a junior. What are the other options for the Health 101 class? Does PE 203 count for that class, Nicoletta?
It does. Sorry, I'm not Nicoletta, but it does.
The PE 203.
Yeah.
What are the other options?
There's other options. They're in the brochures. I can pull them up really quick.
I have on the PowerPoints too that we sent out in
Yeah.
the middle of semester, so I could send all that information out again.
Yes, please. 1 second.
Yeah, and those are pretty easy to find online as well, everyone. Or if you already have physical copies of the credential program brochures, they're not like trifold brochures. They're those packets that have like steps 1 through 5 of what you need to have in order to submit your application, what a completed application looks like. That packet on the last page has all of the different things that count for your health classes. It has the different ways that you might be exempt from having to take the CBEST and just a bunch of other information that's similar to that. Is Liberal Studies 307 also used for Health 101? Kim?
No.
Thank you.
Just a no.
But thank you for asking.
Okay. Are there any other questions that pertain to the credential programs? I mean, this one does, but somebody is asking about liberal studies stuff. So I just want to make sure, is it Health 101 or Health 100 that's needed?
For liberal studies?
As
the credential program?
I think different campuses call it different things because
they call it different things. Yeah. So I think with Palomar and Maricosta, I mean, I've taken Health 100 and Health 101, so they're both most likely going to be accepted. The class just has to cover nutrition and drug abuse. So as long as it covers those, they're fine. But I think from Palomar and Maricosta, Health 100 or Health 101 are fine.
Perfect. For liberal studies, one of our participants said, her advisor said that PE 203 does cover health, just to confirm.
Yes, it does.
And finally, this is a liberal studies focused question. I'm a junior and I want to apply for the credential program next year. If I want to go into the program, is there a way to go straight into the program after completing liberal studies, degree requirements, or do we have to graduate first and come back?
Do you mean into the regular credential or ITAP? Probably regular credential.
I would assume.
Yeah, if I understand it, if I understand the question correctly, no, you apply when you're in your senior year for the following year. You don't have to leave and then come back.
ITEP is the integrated teacher education pathway option. The person is responding in the chat. You would have to, I don't even, Nicoletta, if somebody is currently a junior, what are the odds of that happening, being able to do ITEP?
Kim, did you want to address that?
Sure. We are not recommending that they try to go into ITEP because they will not have finished the area of focus classes that they'll need beforehand. It's possible that they could have, just gone straight through and gotten all of the other upper division classes, but it's highly unlikely that they've gotten the areas of focus classes because those are different for ESM and ITEP. So if anyone can look at the ITEP ACL and think that they might be eligible, talk to Colette Magoon, the advisor who was on here. I don't know if she's still on here. And she can tell you if you're close enough to be able to enter ITEP. But the thing is, you go into ITEP you go into the credential program in your 4th year. So it's highly unlikely that this semester you have taken all the classes you would need to get through it. But anyway, see the advisor for specific review of your transcript.
Rachel and Marissa and the rest of you, I'm sorry, I have to be at another Zoom meeting. It was so good to see all of you. And if you want to have another one of these in a couple of weeks with updates, because as I said, things are changing, then just let Marissa know, and we'll stay in touch as best we can. Thank you all for showing up and asking questions, and
thank you for coming,
Pat. Well.
Thank you for showing up to our meeting. Okay.
You guys have any more questions? Sorry, I gotta go put my kids down for a nap. But if you have any, they're driving me nuts. If you guys have any, you guys can totally email me, or can't call my work phone, but you can call my cell phone. But go ahead and just email me if you have any questions about this. Do you guys have anything like you want to?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
What do you want?
If somebody took Kinesiology 200 PE for elementary school at Miracosta, does that apply to the health class?
I believe Keen 203 does apply. Yes, it does.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? No, not for me. Okay. Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
See you later.
For the people who are asking about which classes transfer, I would be checking assist.org to see if you can basically put like Miracosta College to San Marcos or Palomar College to San Marcos, just so you have that clarification. And if you need to double check, then I would double check with Colette. Do you agree, Rachel?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Or whoever your advisor is, because if you're not liberal studies, don't hit up Colette, because she would be like, just kidding. She would probably be like, I'm happy to help you. Find your advisor.
Yeah, she would be.
But talk to whoever your advisor is.
Okay, I think that's all the questions. There's just a bunch of thank yous in the group messages now. So you're welcome.
Yeah, and come to the Zoom meeting next week on Tuesday.
It's going to be about, I'm blanking, Rachel, help me out here.
Teaching through tough times. So basically how teachers are sticking with it through either the current situation or situations like 9/11 or the recession or any other time that has been really stressful for students, staff, teachers, and families.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's it. Do these Zoom meetings still count towards receiving a cord?
To be determined.
To be determined. Yeah, we gotta talk about that. Okay, I think we're gonna end it. Anybody have any last questions, concerns? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, I think everybody's done. Thank you for coming and joining us on this virtual. I don't know what this is. Okay, I'm gonna end it now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.